Here is everything that you need to know regarding your sleeping problems. It's a long topic, so prepare yourself mentally. At the end of the video, you will be asking yourself, how did I live my life without this information? I will explain it to you from my point of view, so you can understand it clearly. Part 1. Here are the facts about me that you need to know before learning about the formula. I am single. I don't have kids. I don't have a girlfriend. I go to bed only when I am extremely tired, meaning I go to bed only when I need to finally go to bed, for the day. I work 12 hours per day, not including the time commuting to work. Now it's time for the example. Imagine that my job starts at 6 p.m. and finishes at 6 a.m. Now how do I prepare for the job, when it comes to sleep? I count from 6 to 8 hours backwards, from 5 p.m. back to 9 a.m., that's 8 hours, and I chose on purpose for example this number, so you can understand the formula. Now what does that mean, 9 a.m.? It means that I have to be in bed and start to sleep at 9 a.m. and then wake up at 5 p.m. Okay, now this is the easy mathematics. Now I will explain a little bit more complicated formula because, in all people's lives, there are things that overcomplicate the simple formula. Imagine this thing now. I have to wake up at 5 p.m., right? Now for the example, the obstacles that are predicted to happen through the day are that I have to wake up and cook myself a meal. That means 1 hour less sleep. That means that I have to do this task early in the morning or early before 5 p.m. Now another example, but not my example. A woman has a kid and the kid is 4 years old. She works my shift pattern. She has a lot of tasks to do throughout the day and she will sleep a little bit less than me. Now I am not going to get more details about that woman's personal life, but the things that I want to mention regarding her are the following. To have a good quality sleep, she needs to do a little bit differently from the mathematics calculation that I shared with you. She would need to sleep in 2 parts. What do I mean? I mean that when she comes home from work at 7 a.m., she needs to make sure that she gets into bed at around 8:30 and starts the first part of the sleep, which will be 4 hours. That means that she will be awake at 12:30, then she takes care of the kid for 1 to 2 hours, like for example, cooking a meal for herself and the kid. Now the clock it's 14:30. Keep in mind that not every person can go immediately to bed and fall asleep in a few seconds. That means that the woman will fall asleep at 3 p.m. She will sleep from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Now, here you go, the bare minimum 6 hours of sleep needed for a normal person to maintain a 12-hour shift. Keep in mind that she won't be doing that kind of task every day, which means that on some days she will allow herself to sleep a little bit longer than the minimum 6 hours. Part 2. Regarding sleep, an average person needs between 6 and 8 hours per day to sleep, to not feel tired and sleepy during the job. Imagine that I sleep 6 hours at day 1. 5 hours on day 2. 4 hours on day 3. Now here I will explain something. Before the shift pattern, I slept 8+ hours. On day 1 when I sleep for 6 hours, I don't have any problems through the workday. On day 2, I feel a little bit tired and I really am thinking about sleep and whether would I be able to maintain the workday. On day 3, I felt extremely tired and everything that was on my mind was what kind of excuse to create, so I could go home and fall asleep. On this day, I drink a lot of coffee compared to the previous day. On day 4, I don't just sleep 8 hours, I sleep 9 or 10 hours total, because the body demands it. And at day 4 my mental work capabilities and speech have dropped to 30%, from 100%, due to sleep deprivation. Keep in mind that this is one of my old work shift habits that I had. Now, part 3. The best time to fall asleep that I highly recommend. You need to be extremely tired so that when you go to bed, you can fall asleep in a few minutes. That's easily achievable when you are not on your work shift pattern. Part 4. How to wake up with ease. When I go to bed with the lights on. Why? It's not because I am scared of the dark, but because I can wake up more easily this way. I sleep with a male sleeping mask, which allows me to not force myself to keep my eyes closed when there is light. I highly recommend it to you too. Part 5. The formula for falling asleep easily while you aren't extremely tired. Imagine this scenario. I need to fall asleep by 9 a.m., but I don't feel sleepy. What do I do in this case? I lay down on the bed in one of these positions, on my back on my left side or my right side. I don't lay down on my stomach, because I can't fall asleep this way. The best way for me it's when I lay down on my back. Now I don't move while I am ready to fall asleep and I don't allow any thoughts in my mind, at this point. Because I need a clear mind while I am falling asleep. Now I hold my breath for 5 to 10 seconds and then I exhale at my normal pace of exhaling. I continue to do this breathing in and breathing out, and during this time I visualize how my body becomes heavy with every exhale. This is what getting relaxed means. During this point in time, I continued to not move, not even an inch, because it unbalanced the sleep formula. Then after 5 or 10 minutes, I am sleeping. Part 6. The goal of breathing in and breathing out in this pattern is to reduce the heartbeat rate. When you want to fall asleep easily, you need to reduce your heart rate. When you want to wake up easily, then you need to make your heart rate faster, meaning either through loud songs in the morning for alarm, listening to personal motivational stuff that motivates or inspires you for a few minutes, or doing some physical movements fast. Part 7. Now as a final. This is one of the most important things regarding sleeping and health problems. 1 hour before you go to bed, I want you to avoid eating anything. Drinking fizzy drinks, wine, milk, or anything other liquid that is not 100% water should be avoided 1 hour before going to bed. Why? Because this is the biggest mistake that most people make when it comes to health. What happens when you eat in less than an hour and then go to sleep? You ask what will happen. Now I will explain to you. You will gain weight. This is the main reason why people are becoming fat, despite eating small portions. I want you to appreciate this information because up to this point in time, this information regarding not eating 1 hour before going to bed was only available through my book, Eat Whatever You Want Without Gaining Any Weight. Now, if you find this information valuable, then I would suggest that you help me with some watch time on my YouTube videos. I would really appreciate it if you click on my UGIO playlist and leave it on autopilot to run in the background at 2x speed, while you do something else, for example. It would take you around 25 or 30 minutes total to watch all the videos. That's it if you want to contribute by watching all of the videos. Aside from that, I also highly promote my other videos where I have a playlist that says, all-in-one videos. If you really want to learn more quality stuff, then head towards that playlist.